Hello everyone. I hope you're all doing so good today. I'm very excited to be chatting with you about my January 2023 book haul. First book haul of the year, baby. I love it. I love buying books. I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I have 9 books here that I'm going to talk about, which, it's a decent amount, and I'm cognizant that I previously in my 2023 goals video was like, yeah, I'm really going to try harder to match my books in and out this year. We're not going to talk about it. So let's go over all these books that I'm very, very excited to have and see what's in store. All right. The first one is Happening by Annie Ernaux. And you've probably seen or will see lots of people hauling Annie Ernaux because they won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2022. So I have been hearing about her for a long time. She writes mostly nonfiction and just have never picked her up. And then when she won, I was like, okay, now's the time. And I always knew that when I started, I wanted Happening to be the place that I started with. So The Happening is published by 7 Stories Press. They publish all of her work in the US at least. So they also now have a box set of hers that you can get after she won the Nobel Prize. So if you're looking to double down, you can get the whole box set. But these are translated from the French by Tanya Leslie. Happening is about her experience becoming pregnant when she's young and trying to get an abortion. So at that time, abortion was not legal where she was living. And yeah, she goes through the process of doing that. I've heard that this can be really difficult to read, but I just feel like that's such an important read, especially now. I mean, like always, and especially now. So yeah, I'm very excited to get to this. And no, it will be hard, but it is slim, which sometimes with the really hard-hitting fiction, it's nice when it's slim. So I'm excited to get to this and read my first Ernaux. So that is The Happening. Next up, we have an essay collection that I've been wanting for a while, but it's now out in paperback, and I was waiting because I didn't want to buy the hardback, but that is The Right to Sex. This is by Amia Srinivasan, and the little tagline in the middle, if you can't read that, it says Feminism in the 21st Century. So yeah, this is nonfiction. It is exactly what it says it is. It's published by Picador in the US. And I've heard that these are really thoughtful, philosophical essays on, modern sex. And it's not so much her taking a side per se. She just lays an argument out there, discusses both sides, and leaves it there for you to do with what you want. So I appreciate that take on it. I'm excited to get into these. And yeah, I just love reading about sex and sex culture and all those types of things. I'm interested, so I'm excited to get to this and happy to have it finally in my hands because I wanted it since it came out. So that is The Right to Sex. Next up is a tiny little novel that is a beautiful cover and texture. It's like that velvety, unctuous texture. And that is The Seas by Samantha Hunt. This particular edition says it has an introduction by Maggie Nelson, if you care about that. And this is published by Tin House Books, which is a small press in Portland, Oregon. And I have just heard great things about this. So this follows a woman, young girl, I don't know, adolescent. How old is she? I don't remember how old she is, but she believes that she is the descendant of mermaids and that her entire family are mer people. And her father has disappeared. And she believes that that means he has gone back out to sea to be with his ancestors. And she's trying to find him. I know that this talks about issues of substance abuse, I think mainly alcoholism, and how that's sort of ravaging their community. And yeah, I like the fairy tale dark aspect of this, but also think it will be really poignant. So I'm excited to read The Seas. And yeah, again, that cover, just gorgeous. So that is The Seas by Samantha Hunt. Next up, we have a short story collection, and that is Shit Cassandra Saw, and this is by Gwin E. Kirby. I have wanted this for a while as well. I mean, this cover is outrageous. It's hilarious and it's so bright. And I've heard that this is very bizarro land, and I'm loving that right now in my short stories. So it was just like, I've been waiting so long to get it, and I was like, now's the time. I'm getting it. I saw it. Done. So this says Margaret Atwood meets Buffy in these funny, warm, and furious stories of women and their breaking points from Hellenic times to today. That's enough for me, folks. That's all I need. But yeah, I've heard that this is bizarre, funny, biting, and yeah, I'm very into it. So I can't wait to get into these short stories. And I should say, this is published by Penguin Random House. So there's that. All right, the next one is a book that I've wanted for the past several months, but haven't been able to find it really anywhere. Finally found it at a store and was like, okay, that's it, I'm picking it up. And that is The Book of the Most Precious Substance by Sara Gran. I've never read Sara Gran before. I know she has a number of other works that are out, but I haven't read her before. But this one just seems like I'm going to like it. This is published by Dreamland Books, which is based in LA. And this one follows the story of this mystical book that I think is like a sex tantra book. And if you follow the positions, it gives you like unknown power. There's a lot of like mystical power behind it. So a bunch of people are trying to find this book because they want the power that it can bestow upon them. I think our main character is a woman who works at a bookstore or owns a bookstore, something like that. And she becomes invested in trying to find the book for herself. So I think it's like part adventure story, part like mysticism, power dynamics, sexy times. I'm about that. This is also like so floppy, which like we love. So yeah, that is The Book of the Most Precious Substance. I'm very excited. This might be one that I pick up very, very soon because I can't wait. It sounds so plotty and fun. All right, next up, we're getting into a few books that like technically I didn't pay for, but I did bring in. So they still count as bringing in on my tracking. But at the end of the year, most of the year, I should say, as I'm unhauling books, I put them in the little free library that's like on my block. So that's where most of them go. But at the end of the year, I do start letting them accumulate, and I take them in to a bookstore to trade in so I can buy some new books. And these are the ones that I got. So I didn't actually pay for these. I mean, I kind of did. I bartered. We're 21st century American bartering. So the first one is The Family Chow. This is actually an autographed copy. But yeah, so this is a mystery, and that's partly why I picked it up. I love mysteries, and I'm always trying to get in new ones to see what's going on in mystery nowadays. So this, I believe, follows three brothers who work in like an American Chinese food dynasty, and one of them dies, and I think the other two are immediately suspected. So this, yeah, follows that family's lives. It gets into all their family secrets and secrets about the restaurant. So I think this will be very fun. This is published by Norton, and it is written by Samantha Chang. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this one. I probably won't get to it anytime soon, but at some point in the year, I will get to this one and see what it's all about. Next up that I got from the trade-in is one that I've had my eye on for a while, but honestly wouldn't have bought on my own, like unless I could get it for free like I did. And that is When I Sing, Mountains Dance. And this is by Irene Sola. It's translated from the Catalan by Mara Fay Leatham. And this is published by Grey Wolf Press. So there is the cover. I've heard a lot about this, and I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. Some people have loved this book, and it was in their best books of the year. Other people just did not connect with it, so we'll see where I end up on that. But honestly, the soft spot for me really is that this takes place around the French Pyrenees. And I have a Great Pyrenees as a dog, and they're from there. That's their namesake. So that was like the extra little push to get me to read this. I know that has nothing to do with anything about the book, but there we are. So I think this follows a young man who is dying, and all of these natural elements, I think, come to life, and they're witches in a sense, and bestow upon him like a power. And then you follow his family through the generations. I think that's what's happening. I know that's very vague. I don't want to fully read the back because I don't want to know too much about it. It's very short, but I think that's generally what's going on. So yeah, seems mystical. Seems like we're gonna get like a real like generational family saga. I love a witchy element, so I'm into it. I'm down to try. We will see what happens with When I Sing the Mountains Dance. Yeah. All right, next up is the last one that I got when I did the trade-in, and that is The Latinist, and this is by Prins. This, I believe, is a take on Daphne, if I'm remembering correctly, and it's set sort of in modern day academia. So I think this follows a woman named Tessa who is at Oxford, and she becomes entwined in a relationship with a professor there. So yeah, I'm curious on like a modern retelling of Daphne, which is the Apollo myth. So we will see how this goes. Part of why I got this is I also heard a review that this was very plotty, and I'm just in the mood for plotty books right now. So yeah, I think this will do the job. So that is The Latinist, and this is published by Norton, if I didn't already say that. So the last book that I got in the month of January is a graphic work, and I can't quite tell if this is fiction or nonfiction. At this point, I think I'm going to say it's nonfiction, but if you know, correct me if I'm wrong. So that is In, and yeah, this is what I believe to be a work of graphic nonfiction. There's a little bit of the art style. So it's very comic-y. There are sections with color and sections without, but this, I think, is all about human connection, and I am just a sucker for that. That is one of my little buzz phrases that I will pick something up for. So I think this just follows him throughout his life, you know, in different scenarios, connecting with different people, and I think a lot of times it's strangers that he's connecting with. So yeah, I'm very curious about this. I can't wait to get all into my feels thinking about humanity. So that is In. Oh wait, and I should say, and this is published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. All right, folks, that is it. We have made it through the January book haul. I'm very excited to get to all of these books. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought of them. And also let me know what you got in January. So with that, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.